Alright, Ramsey just asked me if I had a video on yield farming, so I'm just going to make one super quick. Right now my biggest yield farm is in Solarbeam. So what a yield farm is essentially you get paid out tokens for the project as a reward for providing liquidity for the exchange, right? So there's a lot of words in there that maybe some people don't know. Just break it down in layman's terms. So a decentralized exchange is not like a centralized exchange, right? So it's not run by a business. So in order to provide liquidity, there has to be tokens in the system. So they provide you a reward for putting tokens in the system so that people can buy and sell the tokens that are on the exchange, right? Yield farming takes that to another level. So it's usually for newer exchanges because they want to get their liquidity up, right? They want to get the money that's in the exchange up so that people can make swaps. So when you go to a yield farm, right, you connect with your wallet. They have yield farms on pretty much every major network right now. So Moonriver, Binance, Ethereum is where it started, obviously, and then because of gas fees and everything else, it migrated. But I'm on Moonriver right now, which is an EVM. It's just like a Ethereum Virtual Machine, so you can copy and paste projects without the crazy gas fees. Plus, it's on the Polkadot network and Kusama, and there's a whole lot of cool projects. But this is the yield farm that I found that I'm in right now. So if you take a look, right, see the APR. These are crazy numbers, obviously, because this is a super new exchange. So as the value on the exchange goes up, they need less liquidity, so these numbers go down, and vice versa. But what you do is you provide the two tokens in the pool to get rewarded in the house token, right? So this is Solarbeam, the exchange. The token for Solarbeam is Solar, right here. The price right now is $22.94. Circulating supply is 1.38 million. Market cap is 31.65 million. Right. So you get paid out in Solar for supplying liquidity to Solar. That's what a yield farm is. So if you take a look at the pool, right, Solar and Moonriver, what you need to do to supply is you need to have both of these tokens, and then you stake it in there so that they can use it as liquidity, and then as long as it's staked in there, you get paid out in Solar. So I'll show you an example, right? So it's going to go a little bit in reverse right now. So this is my rewards since I last checked, which was not too long ago. But if you harvest the rewards that you get paid out, which is the APR, I'll harvest it right here. Confirm that. Confirm that. I have two pools, so I just had to confirm it twice on the wallet. It's running through the transaction. The gas fees on Moonriver are also insane. They're like a cent or even less, which is pretty dope. But waiting for that to harvest. So right now my Solar balance is, let's see if we could do it before it comes out. 1, right? So 1.012 Solar. That's gonna go, and that should go up unless that was before I harvested that, which it might have been. Harvest is good. Yeah. So that's the amount of Solar I have right now. So you can't just supply one side, right? Because that doesn't help them. Because if someone wants to swap from one to the other, they need both tokens. So you take what you just got, which is called Solar, which is right there, right? So we got one Solar. So you split that in half. You could do any of the pools, right? So right now I'm in Solar Moonriver and Solar Pets. So I'll do one that I'm not in just to show you guys. I'll do Solar Rip. Go swap. So right now, take the Solar. I have one Solar token, and I have no Rib tokens. but I can just swap half of the solar that I have right now, pay the gas fee. I'll add that to my wallet. I'm waiting for that transaction to go through, but while I do that, I can go back to this page, drop down to that pool, which was Solarbeam. It's right here, right? Boom. So now I have both tokens. I still can't stake it yet. That's because first you need to turn those tokens into liquidity tokens, right? Because everything on the blockchain goes through tokens, and it's all initialized on there, and it keeps records. So you can't just put the 2 tokens in. You have to turn those 2 tokens into an LP token, which represents those 2 tokens. So to do that, you go to pool. I don't have any liquidity tokens right now. They're already staking the ones that I have, but I'll go to these 2. I'll go to Solar and then Red, and I'll max it out. Approve RIB. So you have to approve. I haven't done this pool before, so you have to approve it, and then confirming the approval. And then once you approve it, you have to actually submit the transaction to happen to turn these 2 different tokens into 1 token. There's not much I can do right now, aside from just wait the 20 seconds or so it's going to take. All right, boom. So now turn those 2 tokens into 1 token that represents those 2 tokens, right? That's what we're doing now. All right, so I submitted both of these tokens. I'm going to go in the system. Now once it gives me that 1 token that represents those 2 tokens, I can put it in the pool, which, yeah, it's right there. So once again, we're just waiting on this to confirm. You can speed it up, pay like another cent or whatever, but it's not even worth it over like 5 seconds. If you'll notice, in the time that I've been doing all this, I've accumulated another 50 cents. So you could, right now, the way Solarbeam and Moonriver and everything is set up, you make more money than you can actually possibly spend in gas fees, which is cool. All right, cool. So now I got the 1 LP token, which represents these 2 tokens, and I can, you'll see now I have a balance there. I can deposit that token. Once again, I have to approve this transaction. It's not a transaction I've ever done before. So it's going through the blockchain, it's going to approve it, and then I'm going to be able to stake it. Looks like it got approved. Boom. Yeah. I max it out, stake that. So now it's going to stake this in this pool so that if someone wants to swap between these 2 tokens, there are tokens there that they can swap in. So you're essentially providing all the liquidity that the pool needs so that it can make swaps. And they reward you for it. So now if you look at it, boom, our wallet is none and staked is 0.05. So now we will accrue interest, not interest, payments of solar in that amount based on what we staked, right? So they give out 147 a day to the entire pool. So obviously the more people in the pool, the less the payout, so that annualized goes down, vice versa. But if you see, we already made money on that, right? It's like nothing, but it's been 5 seconds. So that is how yield farming works. There's also something called a optimized yield farm, right? So right now, if you want to compound, it doesn't do it for you. You have to harvest, which once again is almost at $1. But you have to harvest. You have to do the process all over again, where you take the one solar and you turn it into 2 different coins, and then you have to turn that 2 different coins into 1 coin, which represents those 2 coins, and then you have to stake that 1 coin, right? And now I'll show you how it works in reverse. So right now, if you look at our assets on both of those, let's go to solar. Got 0.01 solar and Riv less than 0.001. Now, if we want to pull from the farm, what we do is go back to where we were, solar Riv, pop it out. You're staked max, unstake, same thing. You gotta do a gas fee to unstake it. While it's 0, staked 0.05. Those are going to swap once the transaction goes through on the blockchain. And there's that swap. So it's no longer staked. Now that 1 token, which represents both of these, is sitting in our wallet. Now you go back to the pool. So a lot of times, if you have a pool, it's just going to pop up there, right? Because it's going to pick it up. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. You just import it. So solar and Rib. Right. Pool found. This is the pool that we have that we created. So click manage this pool, manage, remove. You can choose the amount, or you could just do 100%. Just click max, maxes it out. Once again, I have to approve this because I've never removed this pool before. So it got approved. Now confirm it. Now I'm withdrawing that 1 token and turning it back into 2. Alright, so that transaction's gone through and it hasn't updated here. Now it did. So remove that 1 and it turned it back into the 2. So now if we go to them, you'll see that we have more than we had. At 0.5 and Rib is 0.01, which doesn't look like a lot, but before was less than 0.00001. I don't know, actually know what the price of Rib is, but I can check. That's odd that it's not on here. So this is the app that uses Rib, so I'm just checking the price on their exchange. I can get to it. So a lot of these now have multiple apps on it, right? So this has, it has an exchange, but then it also has like a gaming NFT platform and some other shit, which I guess I'm just gonna go into purchase tokens. It's a little convoluted to get here, but all right, CDEX. I'm actually gonna do this so that I don't have that problem again. I could have actually done this in Solarbeam, which I'm actually going to have to do it in Solarbeam. All right. USDC, the price of one rib is almost $1,900. Okay, got a little sidetracked, but so we have these two coins, right? So we had one, we turned it into two, we put it in, we pulled it out, we turned it back into two, and then that's where we're at right now. So before I went off on that little detour, I was talking about optimized yield farms. So what that is like I was saying, if you want to compound it, you have to claim this, turn it back into two tokens, turn those two tokens into the one token that represents the two of them, and then stake that. And then you have to keep doing that over and over and over again. So they have optimized farms which do it for you, right? So this is Moon Cafe, which is an optimized farm. So if you go here, we looked at that pool before. It was good. It was like 400 something APR, right? 422. But if you look at it on here, let's go to Solarbeam, Rib Solar. It is that, right? Because it compounds it for you. So if you keep earning and then you keep staking it, it grows and grows and grows. So it's little incremental bits, but those add up over time. That's what this does. So it works the exact same way, right? So we have those two tokens. We're going to go back to here with no liquidity. We're going to take those two tokens and we're going to turn them into the one token again. So we took those two tokens. Notice how this time we didn't have to approve it because we already did this transaction before. So once you approve something on a certain exchange, you don't have to do it again. All right. So these numbers are going to change once the transaction goes through. Because it's going to turn those two into the one that represents those two. 0.001. There you go. And now we have this one token that represents two of them. All right. So now you take that one token, and even though it's on different exchanges, what yield optimizers do is they use different exchanges, right? So if you see Solarbeam's right here, this is Moon Cafe itself. None of these are running right now, but then these are all different decentralized exchanges, just like Solarbeam. So I take that one token that I just made in Solarbeam, this one right here, and I can put it on Moon Cafe. So Rib Solarbeam right there. So I have to approve it again, right? Because I haven't done it on this exchange. But you'll see it shows that LP token, that one token that represents the two of them. It shows it right there already. Just like it shows right here. This one does it in dollar amounts, which is nicer. All these new exchanges on here on Moonriver are they're developing pretty quickly, but they're all rough around the edges a little bit. Solarbeam's pretty clean. All right, cool. So that got approved. Now deposit it. Confirm. Confirm. Transaction right there. Boom. So it moved from in wallet, staked on the exchange. Same thing, if I wanted to withdraw it, I could withdraw it just like I did over here. The only difference between these two now is that before, when I go to the farm, I have to harvest this and then I have to recompound it if I want, or I could turn it to something else. This one does it for you and then it restakes it, and that's why the APY is higher, because it's already built in, like you harvested these and then turn them into the two and then put it back in. And what's cool about this is that in the time it took me to do all that, I already made another $2, which doesn't seem like much, but that's 10% of this pool that I just made, right? What is this? It's fucking $22. So if I harvest these, confirm. I could have ended the video there, but I'm going to do this because I'm going to do it anyway. You guys see. I'm going to harvest that pool. So normally, if you only have one token, like I said, you have to swap. But, oh, it's rib. I'm gonna have to swap anyway. A lot of my pools are like have Moonriver against it, so I can take a small amount like that, and I could create the liquidity position right away because I'm already holding Moonriver in my thing. But I don't have any rib, so I do have to convert that. It's taking a minute, so I'm probably just gonna speed it up. Yeah. Give another second, or so this keeps track of your transactions, but it's a little glitchy, right? So it showed 2 pending, even though I just have 1. That's why I just cleared it. So this is taking another minute, so it's letting me speed it up again, which I probably will do. Because like I said, the fees on Moonriver are insane. They're less than a cent. And with the pool that I have right now, I literally make that back in more time than it takes for this transaction to go through. It's taking a while though for Moonriver. Alright, there it is. Alright, so I had, what was it, 0.01 solar, and now I have 0.12, which once again is not a lot, but so now here's a trick that I do. I get the amount of solar that I have, right? And then that's how much Moonriver costs to get that much solar. But I don't need solar, I need riverboat. So now I go to the Moonriver and I paste that amount that I copied. And this is the amount of riverboat that I need to match the Solarbeam in my wallet right now. This is different from how I did it the first time. So the first time I swapped to Solarbeam straight to Riverboat. This time I swap Moonriver so that I double the amount that I'm depositing, right? Because I only just pulled out like $2, and if I swapped it in half, it would have been $1 and $1, so $2 in total. but I kept the $2 of solar, and I'm just pulling $2 out of Moonriver. So that's actually going to be $4, which is 100% more that I'm going to deposit into this pool. All right. Also keep an eye on your balance. I usually like my balance to have a 1 here, right? 0.1 at least. Towards the end of the night, I just let it get a little lower because I'm going to go to sleep and get more as overnight. But if you run out of Moonriver or ETH or BNB, whatever chain you're on, then you won't be able to do fucking anything. And then you have to move it over from a centralized exchange or somewhere else. It's a pain in the ass. Although they have faucets around. Okay, so I thought I swapped to right. I did. Alright, I do have something there. I just saw the zeros. So same thing. Go to the pool. I have no liquidity right now, but I'm going to make that token. And I'm going to make this token, which is RIB. Max that out from adding liquidity. So it's creating the one token from these two on here, but I'll see it everywhere because it's going to be in my wallet, right? So I actually don't even need to wait for that. I can just wait on here. And you can check the thing there. Alright, so once again, it's lagging a little bit behind the actual transaction on here, which happens. Solarbeam, we're on. RIB Solar. I accidentally hit the exchange. Alright, there it is. So there's the $5 firm that we just made. Yeah, so doesn't seem like a lot, but that's an extra 20% in this pool, right? Since that compounds, I mean, depends how long you keep it in. Also, it depends on the rewards because, they, like I said, they don't stay at that level. It's just because the value locked right now is super low on all of these, which is fantastic because they should all be undervalued. But that's the basics of yield farming.